The Brothers in Kayfabe. For over 2 seasons, the revolutionary force in brotherly kayfabe entertainment.
Hey Landon, it's Colt Cabana. Podcasting's very own Colt Cabana, the Brothers in Kayfabe, has reached 100 episodes. A great milestone. So cool. Congratulations. Here's to another 100 more. Thanks.
And now, Pro Wrestling and Being a Good Brother present The Brothers in Kayfabe. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast. I am one of the aforementioned Brothers in Kayfabe, coming to you live from the StreamYard studio, Jake Kinzer Keel. And to my right in the studio live tonight is
Mr. Wrestling, Landon Bumgarner. As always, is my great privilege, my great honor, and my great joy to be here live on the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast. Jake, we finally made it. We've been talking about this for months.
we're here.
We are here. Episode 100. Brother, they didn't think we would do it, but woo, brother, we did it.
We are here. We are live. And speaking of the one, the only, the man, Ric Flair, I've got some wrestling on the TV. I made sure I had something good on for tonight, and that is Starrcade 1985.
Ooh.
Mr. Rick, I can't do his voice, but baby, I can do some Dusty Rhodes. Yeah.
There you go.
We've already got one comment rolling in. Mr. Mark Maggard, thank you very much. Let's talk about that intro, a new intro video done by Mr. Wrestling himself. But Landon, that intro before the intro, that's something new.
Yeah, it is brand spanking new. So I have talked about this a little bit before on the podcast, but it is no secret that I'm a huge Colt Cabana fan. Like this podcast would not exist without Colt Cabana, not just because of my willingness to do a wrestling podcast, but wrestling podcasts as a whole would not exist without Colt Cabana and the art of wrestling. And so,
very true.
Colt, I don't know why. Colt has been just super cool to me for like the last 10 years. No idea why, but he's always been super cool. He's always responded to me.
He's a cool guy.
He is. Whenever I was beginning wrestling training, reached out to him and got some really good advice. I've gotten to work for him a couple of times. And so I was like, man, it'd be cool to have Colt kind of say something about the pod. And so I reached out to him and asked him, and like that, I got that video. We'll play it again later throughout the show. But just like a super cool thing that Colt Cabana did not have to do, but congratulating us on episode 100. But Colt, thank you, because there would be no wrestling podcast. There would definitely be no Brothers in Kayfabe if it were not for the art of wrestling. And boom, boom, Colt Cabana.
Boom, boom, Colt Cabana. Boom, boom. Yeah, man, it's been a crazy ride this far. I mean, who would have thought? We talked about it last week, but who would have thought we would have made it all the way to episode 100? And here we are. We're here. I can't think of a better brother to do this with. I'm so excited. You know, I'm just in shock. Like nobody was on our side for this whole thing for a long time. You know, we were ups and downs, and now we're here, and I couldn't be happier to have my brother by my side. It's been great.
Yeah, the odds have been stacked against us the entire time. There's been a lot of changes, but like you said, we did it. We're here, and there's nothing that can change that. So I'm excited. Tonight is going to be very, very fun. Now, Jake, it might be me, but I'm not hearing any of your audio.
I muted myself for a second.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
Johnny Caulfield,
good brother Shawnee, our sponsor
from Shawnee and Sal Shoot the Shit podcast. Also, you can save with Shawnee far as you can get some great deals on your mortgage. Call Shawnee Caulfield. But thanks, brother. You're a great brother. We love you. And thank you for joining us on this live. It's been a ride, man. We're excited. And the Patreon himself,
Ooh.
Chandler Stringer.
We could not make it here without Chandler. The only Patreon.
Because of him, we had a total of, I think it was $50 in our bank account. You're the man.
Because of good brother Chandler.
All because good brother Chandler. So
now, Jake, should we announce that there are some giveaways tonight?
We have some giveaways, huh?
We do. So I've talked about this before, but the Mr. Wrestling Archive vaults are wide open. This isn't like the Disney vault where it's just shut and locked forever. This vault is open, and we are going to select some of you lucky viewers who comment. If you use hashtag BIK100, you will be entered into the opportunity to win some exclusive digital professional wrestling history sent your way courtesy of the Mr. Wrestling Archives. So use hashtag BIK100, comment it, we'll throw it up on the screen, and you might just win some free stuff.
You might just win some great free stuff. You know, we're here, we're live, and we're having a lot of fun already. But, you know, we wouldn't be here without a lot of our great partners. I want to give a shout out to a few of them right now. We've already mentioned Johnny Caulfield. Mark Maggard, once again, thank you for being a great partner here, learning us about StreamYard. Legitimately, we knew nothing about this, and you had been using it for almost a year at that point.
Yeah.
And now we're partners in StreamYard.
Jake, I believe we have a Spanning the Globe ad we can roll.
I believe we do. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hello, Mark Maggard here, inviting you to join us Thursday night on Spanning the Globe, where we discuss the belt hobby and professional wrestling and have a little fun along the way. Andy, Jim, Lane, Richard, and myself love to have a good time talking about wrestling. We'd love for you to join in the fun with us. That's Spanning the Globe, Thursday night at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, in Wide World of Belts Facebook group and on the Wide World of Belts YouTube channel. We'll see you then.
Thank you, good brother Shawnee, for taking care of us. And for good brother Mark, our sister podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Check out Spanning the Globe. Hey, you're watching this live on Sunday. You can watch Spanning the Globe live on Thursdays as well.
So you can, and Mark, it's been a great partnership with the Wide World of Belts and the Spanning the Globe podcast. But I wanted to get in some other names like Shawnee, you know, the MWO. We've done a few crossover episodes with them. There's more to come with that direction. You know, it's been a great ride. It's been a fun ride. I'm very excited. Let's get a little bit of homework in first, some housekeeping. And then I think we need to go on to our first guest. Our first guest is waiting. I do want to address one thing first. We will be inducting him into the Hall of Fame tonight, but he will not be here. He has fallen ill. I don't think anything is bad, but Aaron Ortiz will not be here tonight. We wish that he could be here, but hey, your health is the most important thing. If you're sick and you don't feel up to it, we understand. So, thank you, Aaron, for being a longtime supporter of the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast. And we will be talking about you, and we will be talking about your favorite wrestler, because we know your favorite wrestler very well as also. So, a couple things to get out of the way, of course. Bum's analog conversion. Landon?
Yeah. The holidays are coming up. What a better time to surprise your family with old memories than the holidays, honestly. My services I provide are, you have older physical media, allow me to convert it to digital so you can have it on your phone, your TV, your computer, your tablet, whatever you need. Bum's Analog, check it out. Especially if you have old wrestling.
We want all the old wrestling here. Number 2, if you are in the Oklahoma City area, make sure you come on out. I'm going to get rid of this banner real quick so I can read part of it. Come on out November 19th to the night everything changed to with Empire Pro Wrestling, sponsored by the Pretty Please Social Room and Blue Red Loss Prevention Services. November 19th. Bell time is at 6 p.m. 5:30 VIP. The doors open. VIP tickets are $15. General admission $10. It is at 400 Southwest 66th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You can find all this information on Empire Pro Wrestling's Facebook page. And Landon, one of the people at this show, will be at this show.
Yeah? Who?
Maybe we should bring in our mystery guest, the one, the only, the Spotlight, Logan Knight.
What a well-timed surprise.
What a surprise.
Convenient.
He looks nothing like the promo photo that we used, and no one guessed the surprise. I'll tell you that much.
No one guessed the surprise. The Brian Myers guesses were pretty fruitful. I will be compared to a handsome man like that, so keep those rolling.
Keep them rolling, man. Hey, listen, you've got the hair. Like, I mean, it's close. I mean, you pull that thing back into the bun and you look like him. You look like Mr. Podcasting himself, Brian Myers. So, hey, I mean, we'll get you the cool mask too, but it'll just say Spotlight on the front. So what's going on, man? How are you doing tonight?
Not much. I just finished a weekend of having to wrestle chickens all weekend. So I thought that was pretty interesting. That was like something I didn't expect out of wrestling probably at all.
Yeah, I had seen a little bit of this on your Facebook pages. Tell me a little bit more about what happened this weekend.
Friday, I had a championship tag team match at Core Professional Wrestling with Derek James for my tag team Tunnel Vision, and Drake Gallows tag teams with a chicken named Fester Cluck there, who is just a very talented luchador, I guess, but did not come out with tag team titles. Very unfortunate. Next time, I should take me and the boy, and that chicken problem going to go right away. But then Saturday at UWO, I got to complete a bucket list wrestling item, I guess would be like what it is. I had it written down in a journal. I got all these bucket list items written down in a journal, but I got to wrestle a I don't think we can call them that anymore. Dwarf, like they're legally known as dwarves. Like
A little person.
Yeah, Hornswoggle was like a huge, I wouldn't say vocal point of my childhood, but like it was a huge source of entertainment and just laughter. So getting to get that crossed off the list very early was like, hell yeah. But it just so happens that he also wore a chicken costume. So 0-2 against chickens. I'm not really sure how I'm going to take that one to any record holders, but I will say that if Chris Burnham decides to start doing a Wrestler of the Week on Oklafan, I think I had the most fun this week.
It definitely sounded like you had the most fun. Landon, did you have something you were going to say?
I was just going to say, it sure sounds like you had the absolute most fun. I don't think there's anyone that can compare to that.
I don't like to compare myself to others in the state very often, but I think I had the most fun for sure.
So you were at Core Professional Wrestling on Friday. Saturday was the UWO Cranberry Clash. Is that what I saw? So tell us a little bit about that show. I had never heard of this show before, but before they started hyping it up, it seemed like it was a great time for everybody.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
My
Hello?
Wi-Fi is a little janky. You guys able to hear me still?
Yes, we can hear you now, but tell us a little bit about this Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So tell us a little bit about this UWO show last night.
It was pretty cool. If I'm not mistaken, it was maybe not a private event this year. It was like because last year they did a potluck situation. So the Cranberry Clash was Patreon only. I believe it was to the public this year. It was a lot of fun. They packed that VFW out like really, really nice, like jam packed, and had a bunch of different like matches that were voted on before the show even started. So it was kind of like a fan extravaganza night kind of thing. Just like fans got to see what they wanted to see for the night.
Hell yeah. I love a show like that where you can literally just give the fans what they want. I did see that ownership of Unified Wrestling Oklahoma changed hands last night.
Oh yeah. Brent Wall, the referee that's been getting screwed at that company for months, he assumed ownership of the company because they decided that none of them can run it properly. So we're in a new era for UWO, and it's going to be really interesting.
I'm excited to see, what happens. So tell us a little bit about your journey since the last time we spoke to you. A lot has changed, since we spoke to you almost around
June.
Yeah, like around the Oklahoma City PopCon, I think.
It was right after PopCon, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think of what all I've been doing. I got to wrestle in Texas for the not for the first time, but at Texoma Pro for one of their championships. I think directly after I got to wrestle Mr. Wobble for that title, and it was a lot of fun. He claims to be the co-founder of the world famous Wobble line dance. So I guess in a sense I wrestled somebody famous. And then not short thereafter, I wrestled Sam Stackhouse and Eugene from the old WWE days with my tag team partner Derek, and that was a big opportunity. A lot. Like since growing up with Derek, like as a wrestler, he's been there with me since my day one. He's helped me every step of the way, and getting to finally like tag team against two decent sized names, of course ahead of us, it was a real big opportunity. And I think what made it perfect was like in that sense, a lot of people I felt like saw me as maybe his Marty Jannetty because Derek James is phenomenally talented, but I think in the last year or so I've been able to prove pretty much differently of that, I'd like to think. And I think that match might be one of the turning points for it. So had a lot of fun with that.
So, we've heard a lot about what has been happening with a one guy Sterling. Last time we talked to you, you really hadn't heard from him in a couple weeks. So give the viewers at home a little update on what's going on with that.
I wish I knew more info than I've already given. Guy went off the grid right after PopCon. Said he had family things, so he was going to go take care of some things. We all trusted him, and one by one, everybody just stopped showing up, and then it was left up to me and Mike Andrews. And when you have like a group of guys and you're trying to unite for one giant goal like the Entitled was trying to do, it's hard to do it without your ringleader. And then it's also hard when the lead wrestler also doesn't show up. So me and Mike Andrews decided to take things into our own hands and start going a different way. And I guess Guy saw that while he was on his little vacation and didn't take too kindly to that. Cost me a title, and now he's back. But I still have that title again, so I guess, I don't know, maybe two wrongs don't make a right, Guy.
Well, you're over there padding the stats. Of course, I mean, thanks to Guy, you're now more accomplished than you were before. So,
yeah, maybe I should be thanking Guy after all this time, but he'll get his.
Well, we've got you on here, and we have a lot of people that decided to send in videos of congratulations. So we're going to play them throughout the night. So it's only fitting that we play this one first.
No, I mean the other ones. Hey, where the red ones are more of that guy that looks like James Mitchell caught a tapeworm. Where's red? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Guy Sterling, and I am here via my phone on the Brothers of Kayfabe podcast episode 100. And to be quite honest, I'm kind of shocked and surprised that Kenzer Kill would want me on his podcast to put me over in that way, because I can't stand Kenzer Kill. Kenzer Kill, you're on my turf. You're invading my territory. You're on Empire Pro Wrestling. You're dipping your big, fat toe into the pool of sharks that is my world, Sterling's world, the managerial world. And you've already got yourself a hell of a talent with Davian, the technician. And he's got a big match with Mitch Onyx coming up. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. But I don't like you. But I see that you might have my buddy Logan Knight on your show tonight. Logan, how are you? My God, how's your buddy Marvelous Mike Andrews treating you? Is he taking you to the top yet? Or are you still coasting on that mid-level? Logan Knight, more like midnight. But I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me on this otherwise would-be boring podcast. You're welcome. Good night. Midnight. Seriously, Kenzie, get the out of my shit.
Whoa. Family-friendly podcast. Family-friendly podcast.
I don't know what's happening, but I can't unmute Logan. Hey, Logan.
Yeah,
there you
I'm
go.
not going to lie, boys. I wasn't able to hear him, but I can tell it was probably not program rated officially. So
he was saying that you're mid-card, midnight. What do you have to say about that? He called me out, first of all. Then he calls out Mike Andrews, and then calls you mid. What do you have to say?
that's okay. Mike's a day one, and so Guy's already losing points for that. But I think he's honestly just jealous because he's never managed the big guy, the big kahuna, the big tuna. He's never had a big champion. I guess Father Padge may count, But let's be honest, how much of his leash was controlled by Guy? Guy just, he wants to keep wasting my time with me and keep me from my goals and objections. But I can promise you, the unicorn, not going to keep working. Mike Andrews has rainbow bloodlust on his mind. So unless Guy plans on stopping me with his own two hands, good luck.
Well, I have something to say about Guy too, because he's coming in here and we were all holding down the fort while he was, saying he had issues and stuff. So, I have issues with your manager. We all know that. I'm not a Mike Andrews fan. In fact, Landon, when you edit this for the audio version, can you bleep out every time we say Mike Andrews, please?
I will do what I need to.
Okay. Thank you. Let me just say this, Guy. You don't come on my show and talk to me that way. Number one.
There you go.
Number two, I think the man that you are commanding right now, a Montego Sika, I don't think he can hold the same ropes as Devion. I don't think he can lace up Devion's boots, to be honest. So let's talk business here real soon, guys, because you don't come on here and talk like that to me. This is my show. This is our celebration, 100th episode. And you don't talk to our guests that way.
Guy doesn't seem to understand. In those 2 months, I was able to get a couple of friends, and it just so happens one of them's good old Jake Kinzer Kill. So maybe I'll have to call you about some KOA spotlight action just in case Guy gets a little froggy.
Listen, as long as the dollar bills are correct, we'll be there.
I told Mike that, and I ended up in 2 different chicken matches, so I don't know.
Now, I have gone and looked at this. This is Malik Mayfield. So he knew it was you.
He knew.
You caught us.
Good for Malik. Maybe he should stop being a cheerleading wrestler and start becoming a detective.
Ooh. I mean, the detective Malik Mayfield. Richard Ward, thank you for that. The warden does not need to come get him. No, don't bring the warden. I'm not even going to show Malik's other comment because this is not. No, he is not someone who attacks people while they're not looking. You will not talk about my client that way. So things are going off the rails here real quick, Logan. So you've got you've got your title over at Empire. What's next for Logan Knight?
I have a fatal 4-way for the title actually next month, and I know it's going to be pretty hard. Adrian Vega, after he pinned me at the last match, he really didn't want to. He told me he was regretful to pick up the win that way, but nonetheless, he was still given #1 contendership for the title. And that is okay. I can't think of a better person to challenge me than Adrian Vega. He's deserved it. I used to put him through hell, and all his brothers from Stryker. I used to put him through hell. And it's time we bury that hatchet, because not only do I have to deal with Vega, I have to deal with Father Padge and Kareem Sadat in the same match. Padge is going to get a lot of my attention, so I'm worried about keeping the title on me. But my goal right now is to get all of the nuisances off my back so I can keep my head clear and show you guys the spotlight of Empire.
And you can see that very match this Saturday at Empire Pro Wrestling, the night everything changed too, at 5:30 door time, 6 p.m. bell time. Hit us up. Come see us. We'll be at the merch tables all night long, and unless we're working, baby. But you brought up somebody that is really giving me the runaround right now. Adrian Vega. I gave him the contract, and he keeps on telling me that he'll get back to me on signing it, all of this about joining Keel Enterprises, and he still hasn't. And, I helped him get in the match last week. Last month, I've helped him with Empire Management. So, Adrian, I need you to call me. We need to talk. And if I don't hear from you by Saturday, I'm going to come talk to you on Saturday. If I have to corner you in the locker room, we're going to talk about this. So, but yeah, there's quite a show going on for Empire this week. You've got your All-American title match. My client is going to be in a 2 out of 3 falls match with Mitch Onyx. The go home for that one, it's been a long time coming since he cheated on my client to pick up the win last time. So 2 out of 3 falls, and every fall will have its own what is the word I'm looking for? Now I've lost
its own stipulation.
Yes. So it's gonna be a wild night, November 19th. So make sure that you've got your tickets already. But so Logan, you've gone a lot of places since the last time we talked. You took a trip to Tennessee and Georgia. Tell us a little bit about that. How was that? How much fun was that going on?
It was a lot of fun. I can't believe I completely forgot to mention that. I got to go on a trip with Derek James and Graham Bell, which I'm about to start doing way, way more frequently now that I'm in a better place in life. But I got to go to Tennessee and Georgia for the first time ever in my life, and it was really, really cool. The wrestling scene in Tennessee is just so different. You would think for like an old territory, they'd be a lot like how Oklahoma is, and thinking that it's like, put a hold on, brother, like slow paced wrestling, a lot of storytelling, not big flashy moves or any of that. But indie flippy dippy wrestling might have actually been invented in Tennessee, because what I saw was some great action packed wrestling. I got to meet Myron Reed, who's pretty big on the indies right now. And when I went to see the Scenic City Invitational, which is a pretty big yearly indie wrestling event. And I don't really have any shame in saying this, but the best wrestler I saw that whole weekend was a 17-year-old girl. Like she was amazing. Wow. She entertained the crowd incredibly. She may have put her body on the line on a spot that got a lot of questionable eye raises on Twitter, but I mean, you keep wrestling at the end of the day, like they're going to say that no matter what. And yeah, so that trip opened my eyes to see a lot of people who are around my age that are like incredibly talented. And usually I struggle with like a bit of a jealousy factor with that kind of thing, because I'm pretty young. I'm only 23, and not a lot of people around here are that old when they first start out, or even that old right now. And so when I see someone good, I'm like, dang, I wish I was that far along. And when I was over there in Tennessee and Georgia, I never felt that way. They were so uplifting, and they could see it on your face when you think you may be like in over your head. And they're real good at keeping you understanding that it's just like, hey, it's reps, it's time. Like, yeah, this very well could be you, kind of thing. More so on the Georgia end of the trip, me and Derek got to compete in a tag team gauntlet at Classic City Wrestling. They like run out of a brew house in Athens, Georgia, nice. Which was a really cool experience. Wrestling in a brew house. Jimmy Wang Yang was there too, because his daughter was on the card. They were really, really cool to meet and talk to. But besides that trip was just really fruitful. I decided to start my vlog on that trip, actually. So that's where a lot of the footage comes from. And it was probably the best time I could probably start going on about the vlog, because I'd been thinking about it for a few months, and I just whipped my camera out on that trip and was like, let's get cracking. So it was the start of a lot of positive notes for the rest of my year.
That's awesome. You really seem to come into your own after that trip. Like you improved a lot after that trip. I think it's really cool to see you get that kind of experience out there.
For sure. And I think a lot of what's been different for me lately is just the change of heart, and not yelling at the fans and being the most malicious person I could possibly be. Guy was setting me on a kind of disgusting path right there. But these last couple of months have been eye-opening for sure. Those guys go on trips all the time. I wish I was a millionaire, because weekly or every other week or every other couple of weeks, Derek will hit me up and be like, you want to go to Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, South Carolina? Just throws all these weird places that he's going to be going out in a week or two, just because he's hitting seminars and hitting the road. And I'm incredibly proud of him for that. But some of us got to work during the week, and it's just it's hard to escape like that. But I'm trying to do that more so often. We got a few places that we plan on going soon, and or the start of 2023, because we got some dudes that got us some opportunities that we're going to start riding with, and I think it's going to be a really, really good year coming up.
Heck yeah, that sounds great. Landon, you looked like you had something to say just a second ago. Was there something you were wanting to say?
I think that's awesome, because I think the best thing anybody can do for their career is to gain new experience. And a lot of the times that means getting out of our comfort zone, whether that's literal or, if that's metaphorical. But man, for you to be able to even like leave the state and go over into other cultures, and like even just a few states over in Georgia, like just to kind of see how they do that, I think that is incredible. I think that's something that everybody should do, like regardless of what your career is. Yeah. Like for me doing audio work, like I would probably learn some things by going to another state and seeing how people in my industry do the same thing. So Logan, I think that's awesome.
It was pretty cool. I mean, traveling's always helped me the most. Like when I take my trips to wrestle in Texas or I wrestle in Kansas, I always feel a little more fulfilled or a little happier than I was the day before, because not only is like wrestling really great, but the experience and the like companionship you get after the shows out with the guys or before the shows with the guys is just, it's not something I'd be willing to trade up for the world, honestly. And for me to just step foot in Tennessee and Georgia and everyone be super nice to me and watch me have me watch them go out there and kill it in front of like arguably the same size audiences, probably bigger. Like a lot of them were bigger, and seeing that level of talent go out there and kill it, it's a different experience, because it gives you like, it just puts coals under your ass, like lighting a fire, man. It like makes you want to be like that. And it's like I was saying, I usually get jealous of that kind of thing, but it's like when I went there, it was more of like I could do that too, just got to work on it.
That's awesome, man. Like he said, it's one of the greatest things that you can do, especially in the wrestling business. I mean, we were just talking about Adrian Vega. Adrian Vega's in Arizona right now working a show. Yeah. So like, get out there. If you're a wrestler or any kind of personality, get out and be in front of as many different crowds as you can.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience to gauge what the kind of crowd is like and like what they want out of you. And it can be a hard task for some, but I'm learning with obviously reps and years, as the answer always usually is, that it gets easier. It gets easier to tell what kind of crowd likes what and what you're good at, and then just taking it off from there.
Absolutely. So, you're going to be at Empire Pro Wrestling this weekend. Where else can the fans find you here in the coming weeks?
Man, December is, I don't want to say light. It's more so for my exposure and getting out. I have 2, maybe 3 dates in Oklahoma for December, and after Empire I don't have anything in November because of the holidays. But December I'm looking at Majestic Championship Wrestling in Seminole. For the rest of that weekend, UWO actually is December 10th, so I will probably be making an appearance there. I can't let getting beat by a chicken be my final legacy there. So,
absolutely.
As long as I keep going, I got to keep getting that chicken unmasked. Empire's running again in December, so I'll always be there. That's That's home for me. You know, boy's going to be at Empire. But a lot of December is going to be traveling for me. I'm going to go make my way down through Texas with some buddies, try to get on places down there, learn, meet some people. And same case goes for another weekend in December. A lot of the end of this year is just going to be for bettering myself and getting those final bookings out of the way. But I do have huge bookings coming for 2023, so I'm looking forward to those.
Fantastic, man. It's always great to have you on here. So we really appreciate you coming on with us here for episode 100. And we'll be crossing paths a lot here in the next month. I mean, we got Empire together. We'll both be at Majestic December 9th. That's out in Holdenville, Oklahoma. So I'm excited for that show. Really, really just excited to do more business with you. And I think we need to corner Guy Sterling is what really needs to happen. Something needs to happen.
Guy gotta smack the silliness out of his brain a little bit.
Before we let you go, I do have one thing I want to bring to your attention. And I think this needs to be your next promo photo to sign at the shows, but I think we need to bring out a new promo photo for you. I can just see I can just see the spotlight living it up like that. So
I've talked about it forever, and I was going to do it last year with the All-American title, but Sam Stackhouse conveniently won the Loco heavyweight title around the same time and did that and started selling by 10s, and I was like, damn it, we're all just living the same childhood with the same brain. We all get to share it one day, and then we got to pass it on. Like, no one can have an original idea anymore.
Right. I mean, it's hard to have an original idea because everything's pretty much been done by now, but there will always be something new that happens. But man, we really appreciate you, like we said, coming on.
No problem.
I'll see you this weekend. Tell everybody where they can find you on the internet. And I believe you just opened up a new store, I think.
I did. I opened up a Pro Wrestling Tees. It's going to be prowrestlingtees.com/the spotlight. I was able to secure that before any other silly goose thought they were the spotlight. One and only on Pro Wrestling Tees, baby. I got 3 designs up on there already, so I'm looking to sell a lot of those. If you're trying to find me on socials, my socials are all the same. It's Logan Knight Pro, at Logan Knight Pro on Twitter, Instagram. I'm Logan Knight on YouTube. I post vlogs like bi-weekly at this rate, and my matches, like most of my matches, Walker Stewart does all the production for a lot of, I wouldn't say all of the state of Oklahoma, but he pretty much does all the production for the state of Oklahoma. And he also he edits and produces my vlogs as well. So that boy does fantastic. I take pride in that a lot of my matches on YouTube kind of look like TV quality, and like it just looks like it was snipped off of a TV product. And a lot of guys are comfortable with posting their hard cam or phone footage, and that's cool. Got to do what you got to do at the end of the day, but I take a lot of pride in how well Walker makes my stuff look. And so you can find me on YouTube on there. Facebook, Logan Knight's all the same. That's where I'm at on socials. I actually just started doing this thing where I have a QR code for all my links, and everywhere I go, including just random places, I have a sticker of my QR code, and I'm going to be slapping them random places I go everywhere, just in case someone's feeling a little frisky. Scan the QR code. Nothing inappropriate, just wrestling links. So, you know, I'm hoping for any sort of unique exposure.
And of course, the future Spotlight OnlyFans account, right?
Yeah, we'll get there once I'm on that WWE contract, because then I can start cosplaying in cute little outfits, and they'll pay me money for it.
All right, man. Well, like I said, thank you again for coming on. Go buy a t-shirt from this man. He's wrestling all over now the country for your viewing pleasure. And you're one of my favorites out here in Oklahoma. So it's always a pleasure working with you. And we're glad you came on with us.
Glad you guys had me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Logan. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Major World Order. Hello, everyone. Billy Peck, part of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast team and host of the Major World Order. And I just want to give a huge shout out and congratulations to 100 episodes of the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast, one of the best and most fun podcasts that I've ever been interviewed on. Thank you. Congratulations. Have a great rest of the podcast.
Man, thank you, Billy. And thank you, Spotlight Logan Knight, for hopping on and joining us today. It's always great to, no pun intended, to put a spotlight on local talent and to let them kind of share their journeys. And it's super encouraging to hear someone like Logan, who is truly putting in the work to grow his experience and what he can do.
And that is Logan Knight that just commented for the giveaway tonight. So Logan, we've got a few entrants so far. So
We do.
Keep
This
them
is
coming
good.
with the BIK 100 hashtag. Go put it everywhere. I mean, like he said, just go put it. Just put it everywhere. So
Now, Jake, we alluded to this at the beginning. We had a very special guest open up the show. So for those of you who have not seen, here's just a little glimpse of what we kicked off the show with.
Hey, Landon, it's Colt Cabana. Podcasting's very own Colt Cabana, the Brothers in Kayfabe, has reached 100 episodes, a great milestone. So cool. Congratulations. Here's to another 100 more. Thanks.
Once again, there would be no BIK, there would be no wrestling podcast without the Podfather, Colt Cabana. So, boom, boom. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Is that our biggest technically guest ever? I mean, he's on the show and he mentioned our name. So
Easily 100% he is. So as long as we don't have to pay him royalties for that.
And while we're at it, we've got a few more special videos. Let's play one more real quick.
Hey, guys. It's Husvar of the Major World Order podcast. I wanted to wish the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast a huge congratulations on your 100 episodes. Yes, I said that right. 100. Major World Order just hit our 100 episodes. We're, I think a little over now. And I can't tell you how huge of an accomplishment it is to reach that milestone. And, I mean, what you guys are doing is awesome. I enjoy listening to your podcast, and you made it 100 episodes, so it's it's good. But Landon and Jake, huge congratulations to you guys on on doing this, and it's something you should be very proud of, except for that son of a gun Kinzer Keel asking questions on my podcast. Dirty questions. Listen, pal, this is a family show, all right? So I will not be answering any dirty laundry, okay? So congratulations anyway. But seriously, guys, congratulations. It's awesome that you guys reached 100, and I know as a fact you guys are going to hit 200 or more. So congratulations, guys. That's too sweet.
I must say that I am disgusted and disappointed in whatever it is you may have been sending Mr. Husvar and besmirching the good name of the Brothers in Kayfabe.
No, this was independent of the Brothers in Kayfabe. So they give out 4x6s for weekly questions. I have a Billy Peck. I have a Jake Wyatt, but I don't have an Andrew Husvar. What's up with that? So I asked a home run question. It's one from a famous movie, and it is, what is your favorite non-pornographic magazine to? So Hey, and it's an easy answer. It's good housekeeping. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. And I don't know why he couldn't just answer the question so I could get that 4x6, because y'all know I'm a collector. Like, I got to collect them all.
Well, what you collect in the privacy of your own home is your own business. But here are the Brothers in Kayfabe. We are in the good brother and good sister business.
I got to hype them up real quick. Look at this great artwork that they have for these 4x6s. So, you know, like, that's fantastic. But
It's beautiful. Billy Peck, Andrew Husfar, thank you again. One, for being on the pod, and two, for sending us some videos this week. Thank you. You're like our unofficial brother pod. We started around the same time, independently of each other. There were no crossovers or inspiration for each other. If you are a fan of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, aka Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, check out the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. And then once you've listened to that podcast, check out Major World Order. Or if you're too lazy, just go ahead and dive into the Major World Order's YouTube channel. There's some great content up there, including some toy room tours.
Some toy room tours, man. You know, they've got some great content over there. Seriously love the Major World Order.
Jake, you know who else has great content?
Who is that?
Our official brother and sister podcast, Spanning the Globe.
On behalf of the Spanning the Globe podcast, I'd like to congratulate Jake Keel and Landon Bumgardner on their 100th episode of the Brothers of Kayfabe podcast. Good job, guys.
Congratulations,
Nice.
We got to run in.
We did.
That
But
was
it's
great.
okay. We love Spanning the Globe.
We love Spanning the Globe. I try to watch every week. If you haven't watched Spanning the Globe, it's just a few hours of some people that just love pro wrestling, love their hobby, talking about pro wrestling. So, now there is a little housekeeping that I would like to get in. We will have a first-time guest next week. And I don't even think I've told Landon who our guest is next week.
You have not.
I?
No.
Well, he is a man that's been mentioned in the comments today.
Oh my gosh, we are having
the foreman.
Okay.
Red James will be here next week in the Brothers in Kayfabe Impact Zone. He is the foreman who gets the job done. Listen, guys, I don't care if you're a wrestling fan. If you're not, y'all need to follow Red James on any social media. This dude is hilarious. He's great. I can't wait to have him on. He's part of the Mullet Mafia with our guest that's coming a little bit later tonight. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun having Red James on here. Like I said, dude's a riot. He's on a little bit of a losing streak though, in the ring, and I can't wait to talk to him about it a little further. I might extend a little a business card, because whoever's handling his business, they need help. So, but yeah, one Red James. Who did you think it was going to be, Landon?
I got to be honest, I was pulling for good brother Chandler.
We have got to have Chandler Stringer on the show. Chandler, that would be a lot of fun just to talk about everything and anything with Chandler. That would be a lot of fun. We've had him on a YouTube show.
We have,
but we're still trying to bring him up to the actual show, to the main roster, if you will. But Landon, there's a lot of fun that's been had over the last 2 years, and we're approaching year 3. What is something you would like for us to tackle in the new year?
I think it would be great if we could get it to where every episode that's not something special like a best of or a live show. I think if we got a guest for every single episode of a season, I
That'd be
think it'd
cool.
be mighty impressive.
Well, we're making new friends. We're making enemies as well. I mean, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see who will be on in the next 100 episodes, because there's going to be a lot of new people on, and it's going to be a lot of fun having those people on. We're starting off strong with Red James. I'm pretty sure we could get a guy like Shawnee on. I think we could get a Jake Wyatt on. I need to have Guy Sterling on to come back on that.
Maybe we have an official debate between you and Guy Sterling, and I will serve as the moderator.
I would love that. I maybe one day we'll have Colt Cabana on a episode proper. Maybe, who knows?
Maybe.
I would love to be able to. I would love to be able to get somebody like that on here, but I really like that. I like that idea. I think it's a great goal to have. I'm checking in on our guest right now because he should be here any minute.
He should be. But before we get to that guest, Jake, I'm going to throw this up on the screen, and I want you to tell everybody, because you confided in me before we went live, but there was a tragic loss for you this week.
Yes. My favorite app, the app that's got me through some tough times, on my Roku and on my my Fire Stick, the Wrestling app, where you can watch wrestling 24/7, 365, is no more. It's still there. I have taken it off. I've re-uploaded. I've re-downloaded. I don't know what else to do. So you've heard me talk about the Wrestling app. It's just not there anymore. It's not. It's been either decommissioned or taken down. So here's to you, Wrestling. Thank you for all the good times, and just leave the memories alone.
Leave the memories alone.
I may need a drink after that. I don't know if I could finish the rest of this.
That's the second really good wrestling app that we have lost.
And what was the first?
That a Fire Stick special where everything was on there. It was also
my gosh.
Nudge Wink Wink that we 100% paid for.
Remember that channel that was on there that was just WrestleMania over and over, and it would just play each WrestleMania in sequence. And then once it was over, right back to WrestleMania 1, man.
There's nothing wrong with
that. Let's take care of a little bit more housekeeping. Like we said, Empire Pro Wrestling, you can see he's on the poster. One Logan Knight will be defending his title in a fatal 4-way at that show. My client will also be in a 2 out of 3 falls with a different stipulation for each fall. Devion versus Mitch Onyx. So we're hoping that will end Mitch Onyx's obsession with us. So we got that. December 9th, Maximum Overdrive from Majestic Pro Wrestling, Majestic Championship Wrestling. Hit up Creek Nation Indian Community Center in Holdenville, Oklahoma. You'll be able to see that. And then last but not least, January 14th in McAllister, Oklahoma, the return of NCWO Fight or Flight. All titles will be on the line. That is right, folks. The Oklahoma Championship will be on the line. The Choctaw Championship will be on the line. The women's title will be on the line. The tag team titles will be on the line. The United States Championship will be on the line. And the NCWO heavyweight title will be on the line. It's going to be a great show. Make sure you hit up NCWO, McAlester, Oklahoma, one of the best indies here in Oklahoma. I will be on commentary. I will also be managing in the tag team match, as well as another match. I've gained a new client that I will not be revealing at this moment, but you will have to come to NCWO Fight or Flight. Landon, our guest, has made it home. He's getting his headphones ready to go. And I think it's time we talk about the first inductee into the Hall of Fame. And then we'll save the second for last.
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. But real quick, before we do, Jake, I do have something special from one of our very, very first guests ever on the Brothers in Kayfabe.
Brothers in Kayfabe, congrats on the 100 episodes. Man, I remember when you guys were first young boys. Now look at you all grown up. Congrats to the 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more. I love listening to the podcast while I'm at work. It keeps me sane. Here's to another 100. Too sweet.
Thank you, good brother Miguel. Miguel was our first guest of season 2, I believe. Around episode 22, he hopped on.
He was one of the. He may have been the second guest because I think the first guest was Aaron Ortiz.
Yeah, I think Aaron Ortiz was our first one on, and then it was Miguel. He's been a great supporter. He's been a faithful listener. So Miguel, thank you. Now, Jake, should we roll that beautiful footage?
Yes, we should.
So we're going to play this video, and then we're going to welcome our Hall of Fame inductee tonight. And now welcome Jerry the King Lawler. Well, hi, everybody. I wish we could get Jerry Lawler to make corny jokes in between every inductee. I
really wish. But the man is here. The man who is being inducted tonight, he has made so much. He's meant so much to this podcast. He was one of our very first guests. He was on the very first Brother Fest. He was the main event of Brother Fest. And I think we should go ahead and bring him on. What do you think, Landon?
I think we absolutely should. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee, the one, the only, the mullet daddy, Johnny Kove.
Wow. That was amazing, guys. That whole video, it was awesome.
You will forever be etched in stone
Which,
in the annals of the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast Hall of Fame. And he's got some brother sauce there with him.
He's got the banquet.
oh yeah, I'm out here sitting in the cold, enjoying this nice banquet, witnessing my induction. It's a great night. It's a great night to be Johnny Kove.
In fact,
Now,
it is.
One of these days, I swear we're going to have a physical Hall of Fame, but for now, we can have the Hall of Fame in our hearts.
Even if it is a shed behind one of our houses, there will be the physical Hall of Fame with plaques. Now, we need to know, Johnny, what is your ring size?
That's a personal question, I think,
Well,
for a private conversation.
DM me the ring size so we can ship out something very special as soon as it comes in. But we definitely need the ring size first. But Johnny,
All right.
we're very excited that you're coming into the Hall of Fame. You're a great brother for all of us, not just a good brother, a great brother to both of us here. And first we want to ask you, how are you doing tonight?
This weekend it's been a roller coaster of emotions. I went to core on Friday. I got kicked in the chest by Graham Bell. Not feeling too good after that. Then it started to snow. You see, I'm freezing outside right now just trying to talk about it. Then Saturday I go to a powerlifting meet and I don't perform like I would have liked to. But then this Sunday, I remember I'm getting inducted into a Hall of Fame. So it went from, lows to the highest right now. So I can tell you right now, I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, we're happy that you're one of the very first to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. In fact, the second inductee ever behind Jimmy Jam Jackson. We love you. Rest in peace, Jimmy Jam. But you've got a lot going for you right now. You've been all over the indie scene in this region, and we're just so proud of everything that you've been doing. What tell the folks at home what you've been up to since the last time you were on the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast.
I'm sorry. Sorry, what was the question?
What have you been up to for the folks at home since the last time you were on the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast?
All right, am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, you're back.
All
Can you
right.
hear us, Johnny?
Yeah. It's technical difficulties. I think my dog's chewing on the wires or something.
What have you been up to since the last time you were on the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast? What's been happening in your career and everything?
Kind of feels like it's been slowing down a bit just for, having some bookings cancel, some things just not fall through, which that's bound to happen. But, I'm just right now trying to plan out my next steps, my next phase of my career. I'm really thinking about, I have a select bookings that I take, like NCWO, World Class, Core. But right now, I think I'm just going to start reaching out to some farther places, take some time off with these regular bookings to just, make time and prepare to take these long drives up north or out east to expand the Kove, takeover.
That's very admirable because it's a little bit of a gamble on yourself, but I remember a young Johnny Kove competing for the opportunity to go to Japan, and I was blown away by your performance that early on.
Well, thank you for saying that. That was something that really tested myself. It was one of those defining moments in a young man's career or life when they have the choice to just go back to bed or make the long drive to maybe get a chance to go to Japan. And even though I lost out to Graham Bell and Chris Vail, I still think, given if I would have waited another year or two, I think I would have really had a really good shot at going. But, I still look back pretty fondly on that memory. So thank you for saying that.
Well, Johnny, you're one of the Brothers in Kayfabe's favorite wrestlers. You've been at it now since 2017, and you're becoming one of the top wrestlers in this region. So we're excited to see what you do when you branch out. I mean, we want to see you on TV. We want to see you all over the country. We know you can do it. You're one of the best wrestlers that we've ever gotten the chance to be around. So we want to thank you for being a part of this podcast.
Oh, well, I mean, thank you guys, because you guys have really done a good job with helping me out a lot, making those VHS tapes for me, and just giving me the opportunity to come on here and promote myself, promote y'all, kind of this brothership we got going on. So thank you guys.
No problem at all. Now, part of being inducted into the Hall of Fame, you got to choose to induct a professional wrestler that you were fond of. And so we have shown the graphic multiple times. You chose the one and the only Tully Blanchard. Now, tell the folks at home a little bit about why you chose Mr. Blanchard.
I think Tully is somebody who has been overlooked, for a while. He got he wasn't as well known, due to not getting him and Arn moved to New York, but when they try to go back, he couldn't. They fired him for that drug test. So a lot of people, they don't really think of Tully sometimes when they think of the Four Horsemen of the later years, which is also a good thing. But a lot of people don't realize how instrumental he was in the Four Horsemen, because we look back and we think Ric Flair, he was this really great heel. Everyone hated him, but for the most part, everyone really liked Ric Flair. He was the cool, like a Conor McGregor, for an example. But Tully was the one that everybody hated. So he was really instrumental in getting that necessary heat to keep the force from that engine running. And yeah, I think and he's always been someone I've watched and studied, just from having pretty much the same height, size, somebody that I've looked up to and done a lot of tape study on him. So that's why I picked him, because I knew no one else would probably think of Tully Blanchard. So
I've been telling Landon, we have quite a Hall of Fame. We have kind of the workers Hall of Fame so far. With Tully Blanchard, he joins Brian Myers and Terry Funk. And all three guys that really, Terry Funk is one of the greatest to ever lace him up, but he was never a top star on TV as far as even Brian Myers and Tully Blanchard. So it's really cool to add a guy like that to the Hall of Fame along with you. Landon, do you have anything you would like to?
Is Tully your favorite horseman?
Everyone's gonna say Ric Flair, and that would be. But as a horseman, it's a tie between Tully and Arn.
That's fair. Now, let me ask you an even tougher question.
All right.
Which is better, the Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen DVD, or the Dusty Rhodes American Dream DVD?
Four Horsemen. You know, you can't beat that one.
I agree. That's the right answer.
I told Landon before we started, I had to turn on some good old NWA for Johnny Kove before you came on here. So I've been watching Starrcade 85. And you bring up Arn Anderson and that he's on my screen right now. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole Anderson and Arn Anderson against Wahoo McDaniel and Billy Jack Haynes. So, who does the best spine buster in the business?
Like right as of right now?
Oh, all time.
All time. Arn Anderson. You know, a second would be maybe Batista.
He has a really good spine buster.
Still to this day, one of the greatest moments is Flair versus Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, Double A rolls in the ring, hits a spine buster on Undertaker, then rolls right back out.
I love Old Man Arn. It's one of my favorite things ever.
Welcome to Horseman Country.
Yeah, I think my favorite promo of the last few years is Arn saying, "Everyone, you know Jake's been doing DDP yoga?" And then I can't remember what he says after that, but then Jake flips the table. But I always enjoyed those Old Man Arn promos, along with where he's got the gun. Those
oh my
memes
gosh, the Glock Anderson. It's been great. One of my favorites, and I'm gonna have to dig out the graphic and show it to you. Someone made an old like rap bootleg tee where it was Arn Anderson in the middle, and he was just surrounded by diamonds and Glocks, and it was just one of the greatest things I've ever seen. But we all know that you're a big fan of, you know, late 80s, you know, mid to late 80s professional wrestling, NWA, WCW. If you were to give someone, you know, one match from that time to go watch tonight, what would that be?
I'd have to say Ric Flair versus Barry Windham, Battle of the Belts 2. That's a really good one. Ric Flair comes out to Easy Lover by Phil Collins and the other Phil.
One of the greatest entrances of all time, just for that song alone.
Yep, that's one. I don't want to just keep saying Ric Flair matches, so I need to think of something else.
What about what's a Tully match?
There we go.
Obviously Tully versus Magnum TA in the cage.
Ooh.
I'm getting ready to watch that match.
Or Tully versus Dusty Rhodes for what was her name? Baby Doll.
Literally the next match on the card for Starrcade 85 is Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard in the steel cage for the United States Heavyweight Championship.
It's a gusher.
That's a good one.
I
might have to go watch that right now too.
Magnum TA, man, a guy that could have been a ginormous star in the business if not for everything that's happened to him. So
yeah.
But ow. I don't know what just happened, but my hip just popped out of place. That was fun.
Hey, tough business on families.
Hey, we're live, pal. You know, you can't edit that out in post.
Get those Scott Hall hip.
Did you hear that? That was my hip, man.
That's your hip.
That's one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest clips of all time. Right after Kevin Nash saying, you know, you'd go into the locker room, you'd shake a pill bottle, and everybody'd ask you what you do or what you got. Now you go into the locker room, shake a pill bottle, nobody even looks up. Things have changed, man.
It's true. You got all those skinny video game boys now.
Why else would you wear a fanny pack? Because you can carry 50,000 somas in it.
Oh man.
I always advocate, and I have to mention it every episode. Go watch a Kevin Nash shoot interview because they're the greatest thing ever, especially if he's drinking wine and eating ravioli at the same time. But Johnny, we were talking to Logan Knight earlier. Logan was on. What's next for Johnny Kove? Like, where's your next booking? Where are you going to be here soon?
Yeah, so what's next for me is, really going to try my best to just jump in as many cars as I can, to new places, just to, outreach, make contacts, maybe do some seminars, but I will be in Sand Springs back at Core next month on the 3rd. It's the first Friday of the month. And then after that, I will be at World Class in January. And also I'll be at NCWO in January, which reminds me I need to offer you, Mr. Kinzer, a late birthday present I was thinking about.
Really?
I needed to give you. I've seen you've made some contacts with some new talent. That nice tag team you got going on. What's their names?
Oh, the KOA. The KOA.
Yeah, those guys. And I watched them at the last NCWO show, and I said these are a good group of guys, and they got you behind them. So what I thought the perfect birthday gift would be to you at one night contract for you to be my manager, or just being associated with you. A one-time match where you get to be in my corner. What do you say? Any company, possibly even at NCWO, where you are a commentator. I think that'd be perfect.
Absolutely. I would love for Johnny Kove to come join Keel Enterprises, even if it's for one night. But hey, listen, after how you see what I can do for you, you'll be begging for more than just one. So I accept. I am down, and I might even have to call in a favor before too long. So let's talk. I can't talk about that on camera. So let's talk off camera.
Yeah. Just send your stuff to my
HIPAA laws and everything. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's talk. I'll make a private Zoom call this week, and we can discuss everything. We can get a contract over to you, and make sure you get paid real good.
All right, sounds great, man. I'll get off here in a second, and I'll start writing up some stuff.
Yeah, write up what you need, because I can help you. So, the agency here at Keel Enterprises is really growing, and Johnny Kove, that's a get, guys. That is a get. So let's talk some more business a little bit later. But so you're going to be at Core next. You got NCWO. You've got World Class in January. But other than that, you're going to be getting in cars and going on the road.
That's right.
Our hats are off to you on that, man. Really, really, really are.
Well, thank you guys. And thank you guys for inducting me, having me on the show. So cheers to y'all, and hope you guys have a great night.
Thank you, Johnny.
Buddy.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the Mullet Daddy, Johnny Kove, as well as Tully Blanchard. Man, that's great. We will hear from Aaron Ortiz and allow him to speak about his inductee, Brian Myers, once the attempt of his life is back. But I've got something I want to play, because it's taken us a long time to get here. But we don't want to remember those who have joined us, but also those that we've lost along the way.
Well, last night I dreamed my life was over. There was golden streets and fields of clover, and the lights, they were dazzling. I looked for old St. Peter at the pearly gates. I found a note that said, I won't be too late. I'm going to wrestling. Going to wrestling. R-A-S-S-L-I-N, that's wrestling. R-A-S-S-L-I-N, that's wrestling. There's gentleman Chris Adams with his super kick in place. Young Mike Von Erich with his own Iron Claw. And I'll never forget the classic matches of the 70s and 80s. Two champions, Harley Race and David Von Erich.
Man, rest in peace, Triple J Jimmy Jackson. Maybe for episode 200, we can conjure his ghost. For those that have tuned in, thank you. For those who are listening back on Tuesday, thank you. Go and watch the video version. There's a lot of goodies this week. If you were selected as a winner of the Mr. Wrestling giveaway, you could be expecting a DM sent your way very, very soon. It's going to be great. But man, Jake, what a great episode. I feel good. This has been a really good episode.
It was a lot of fun, man. We had a whole lot of fun. We're out of videos now. All of our friends have already gone away. But I will say this: if you want to be in the Hall of Fame, the bare minimum you have to do is you have to appear on the show twice. So that is the bare minimum to be eligible. Obviously, we want you to do a little bit more than that, but
most importantly, we need you to be a good brother.
Absolutely. So before we go, I have to say we've got his jacket size. You will be receiving one of these if you enter the Hall of Fame. We've got to get Aaron Ortiz's jacket size, get to be in the Brothers in Kayfabe Hall of Fame, and you get the beautiful jacket.
We can lay one over Triple J Jimmy Jackson's tombstone.
Absolutely.
And then box it up and ship it to Aaron.
Don't forget next week, the Foreman Red James will be live in the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast studio. Let's talk a little bit about Aaron Ortiz. What a great member of the podcast family he has been, inducting one of our personal favorites, Brian Myers. I would venture to say without Brian and Matt Cardona, we probably wouldn't have gotten into podcasting. He's one of those. He's just one of those guys. He's a great worker, everything. Find me this weekend at Empire Pro Wrestling. Stryker will be entering the Hall of Fame that night, the first entrant into the EPW Hall of Fame. We've got Maximum Overdrive December 9th. That is a Friday, doors at 6, bell time at 7:30. Fight or Flight, January 14th in McAllister, Oklahoma, 5 p.m. for VIP. General admission at 5:45. Landon, do you have anything to plug?
I have nothing left to plug. Please go back and listen to any of the last 100 episodes. Check out our YouTube for some of the videos. We appreciate your support. Because honestly, if it were not for you all, we would not have made it past episode 10, let alone to episode 100. So to each of you, especially our faithful listeners that listen every single week, thank you. Because this podcast, it's for you. Yeah, it's fun to do, but it's a lot of work to do. And we want to do this for you. So if there's something you want to see, if there's ways we can improve, share that with us. We are very open to constructive criticism because we want to make this something you look forward to every single week.
Absolutely. We're so excited. Landon, what is this that you just sent over to me? There's one more video to play?
There is. So, Jake, I'm not sure.
Why is it called Untitled?
I'm not sure. So there is a guest who we just, quite frankly, we did not have time to get him onto the show. So I told him if he sent us a video, we'd play it as the outro. So Jake, I trust that whatever it is, it's acceptable for us to play. So if you don't have anything else to plug, I say let's too sweet and let's leave the people with this and end on a positive, beautiful high note.
Pro Wrestling Tees /Kinzer Keel, ProWrestlingTees.com/Kinzer Keel. Buy your Kinzer Keel merch. It'd be a great late birthday present to me if you bought a Kinzer Keel t-shirt. So
it would be.
With that,
yeah. So I just want to say this. Life is great, but when you reach episode 100 with your brothers and sisters, life is just too sweet. Roger, I'm sorry we couldn't fit you on the show, but I trust that you left us something nice and that I won't regret this. So everybody, listen to Roger, and we'll see you on episode 101.
All right, so before we get started with any questions, I just want you to know that it is 2022. And I find it absolutely embarrassing that I've got to sit here and take time out of my day to come talk to you guys about some moron manager calling himself Kinzer who wants to run around and spread lies and bullshit about me supposedly getting some guy named Landon fired, who is apparently the producer of this dumb podcast. All the while, he's trying to be a wrestling manager while I couldn't manage a daycare, let alone a tag team. But I've got to sit here and carry this podcast on my back to its 100th episode during hashtag Lando Free Summer, and I find it absolutely ridiculous that despite the fact that I was there to fill in and be better than Landon and take that spot and bring this podcast and elevate it to a new level, I've got to sit here and deal with a bunch of empty-headed dumb like Aaron Ortiz who want to come on and get guest spots and be cute and take my spot and take my shine and get that spot in that Hall of Fame. Well, guess what? Let's go. I am better than that. Putting him in there before putting me in there is like stepping on your own dick. Why would you middle your top baby face for this podcast just to put in a J-Brone like that? It makes no damn sense. But I'm going to tell you this much. I appreciate you guys having me on the show in all seriousness. Congratulations on 100 episodes. Me and above everybody else who have been on the show and even the listeners of the show, appreciate all that you guys do. And we definitely look forward to 100 more episodes. And of course, I look forward to my future guest appearances because let's be honest, there's no BIK without the ROG, if you know what I mean. So here's to you and 200 episodes to come. Thanks, guys.